Hey, what's up guys, my name is Charlie, welcome back to another requested reaction video. This was obviously requested by the Night Star again. I'm choosing this video, the Happy Video Game Nerd Game Quickie Loaded PS1 video, because it's something that appeals to me. But yeah, the Night Star recommended me this channel. I'm just picking out the videos that are sort of like eye candy to me, that I've actually played and seen and played the video games before. And I've definitely played Loaded. Loaded is one of my favorite PlayStation games. Dear God, that game is amazing. And I think Reloaded is also good. I enjoyed the second one actually a little bit more because the characters had a bit more of an animation to them. But yeah, I mean, Loaded for the PlayStation 1 is absolutely phenomenal. It really is a must game to play. I remember killing a bunch of things, collecting like coins or something like that, rings or whatever the hell it was. And then it was like collecting key cards and going to the room to room, going to the red room, the blue room and stuff like that, and green room and stuff like that. It was totally awesome. But it was a long time since I've played it. But yeah, let's check out the video, shall we? Let's go. Oh god, here we go. I hope he doesn't shit on this as well. You better like this fucking game. Better fucking like this game, I swear. I'm gonna lose it. Loaded. My god, look at that. Fucking hell. Amazing game. Like a stick shooter.
1995's Loaded, aka Blood Factory from Gremlin Interactive, is a loud, gory action game at odds with itself. An interesting failure of a frenzied action game, Loaded is a run-and-gun shooter that too often punishes running and gunning. Instead of allowing you to enjoy its brilliantly rendered spectacle of unfettered carnage, it is unwilling to commit to this constitution with gameplay choices that work against this. It isn't a complete wash though. Wonderful music, a solid frame rate, excellent lighting effects,
Finally,
of course all that gore, and its cheap price online are difficult to deny. Still, Loaded is a fun, violent, trashy action game that could have been so much better.
Oh, come on. You gotta start shitting on every game.
Loaded, and that certainly has appeal. I'm not a sharp enough wordsmith to do this game justice, but the footage can speak for itself. Dark, gory, violent. This is pretty much Hotline Miami in 1995. It's not a perfect game, and I'll get to that in a second, but the spectacle Loaded creates is pretty fucking amazing. The folks at Gremlin set out to make chaos, and they definitely achieved this. It also passes the most important test, which is that it is an old game that at least has a steady frame rate. Mix in great sound and music, and it's easy to see that on a surface level, Loaded has a lot going for it. But once you start playing the game and get into things, you begin to see this game has issues.
Yeah, I found a couple of bugs when I played it,
like Gauntlet, not Smash TV. Not that there's anything wrong with Gauntlet, but Loaded's enemy movement and level design just scream for better controls.
I gotta agree, actually. Yeah,
he's
right.
Can circle around you faster
Controls
than
were
you can
a little
turn.
bit
Some of the game's characters have narrow shots and demand accuracy the controls simply don't allow.
Yeah, true.
The game gives you an insane amount of enemies to obliterate, but leaves you with woefully inadequate controls. The only solution is the strafe on button, that is, while holding L1, left and right becomes sidestep instead of turn. Not giving Loaded a dual stick layout like Smash TV, or giving proper sidestep buttons to allow for circle strafing was a huge mistake. Mastering the strafe on button is essential and can be a huge help, but I always felt like I was outnumbered and outgunned. And a good action game, much less one called Loaded, should only rarely make me feel outgunned. But as you can imagine, Loaded is all about firepower, and even with the controls as is, room-clearing super bombs and weapon power-ups make you a powerful force. The game's 6 characters each have their different shooting styles, but any one of them fully powered up is a sight to behold. You want insane firepower? You came to the right place. This game definitely feels harder than it should, but it's pretty good about giving you frequent health packs and hiding invincibility power-ups right before giant, heavily guarded rooms. Still wish those controls were better.
True, I gotta
controls
admit,
do the action
controls
no
were a
favors.
little
They're
bit
simply adequate when they should have been great.
Yeah, they were adequate. They're not great,
In addition to the
but
controls, there are too many things that undermine the action. Loaded wants me to shoot everything that moves, but also watch my ammo consumption. This is particularly head-scratching on levels where enemies respawn. Then it wants to judge me on my accuracy at the end of each level. It wants to be fast and frantic, but leave me lost in labyrinth-style levels, desperately searching for keys. I also have to squint my eyes to tell which colored card unlocks a door. Loaded loves its large-scale shootouts, but most enemies just stand there and instead of engaging, just take pop shots at you. It wants to dazzle with gunfire, blood, and flashy explosions, but this makes it very difficult to tell if I've actually cleared a room, and if I haven't, tell which direction I'm being shot from.
Sure.
It wants to throw a barrage of dudes at me, but give all but low-tier enemies tons of health. It loves to hide rooms full of tokens, but points are literally meaningless, adding only to a level score. There's no high score or extra lives to be earned, at least none that I found. I just want to run around and shoot stuff, but Loaded goes almost out of its way to make sure I can't do that. There's a nuance to dumb fun that requires style and substance, and Loaded lacks the substance. It was successful enough to have a sequel,
Reloaded,
and
here
while
we go.
Reloaded does attempt to address some of these issues.
Yeah,
For
Reloaded is
example,
much
you
more
walk
better.
slower while shooting, and that helps with
Characters
aiming.
were awesome.
It is an absolutely inferior follow-up. It is criminal that this is the one that's available on PSN. Loaded has a style that is undeniably trashy and enjoyable,
Yes,
but when it came down to actually playing it, I couldn't shake the feeling that it should have been better. I'd normally say, well, it's time for a remake, but I feel Hotline Miami is Loaded's logical progression. It's violent, gory, stylish, and has an amazing soundtrack too. Loaded could have been a classic, unfortunately it comes up short.
It is
Still,
a classic.
There's some mindless fun to be had here, so it comes recommended so long as you don't pay more than $5 for it.
Wow,
Any more
I'd
than
pay-
$5 and you're better
I'd
off
pay
buying
$10.
Hotline Miami or getting yourself some
Or
classic Smash
$15
TV.
for this.
Avoid the sequel at all costs.
Damn, brutal. But yeah, damn, I have to agree with him on this one. I mean, it's a good game, but the controls were bad. They were clunky, cluttery, so I do have to agree with him. That sucks. But yeah, I'm glad I'm finally agreeing with him. It's a good game, but the controllers, like I said, I do have to admit that they were clunky. I had problems with the controls, but it's like a stick shooter, but it's like it's not accurate. It's like you would have like a machine gun or something like that with bullets trying to shoot at things or flamethrowers and shit like that, and it would always miss the enemies. I mean, it was, it was absolutely difficult. So I have to totally agree with him right there, is that the controls were a bit frustrating. But like I said, I actually enjoyed the Reloaded, the second one, much more better. The first one was the first one I played, obviously, Loaded. That was the first one. Then I played the Reloaded one, and wow, that fucking one was amazing. It was actually quite a lot of glitches I found in the Reloaded version. For some reason, I was dead, and I was flat on the ground like a pancake, and I was still able to move around the map shooting enemies. It was weird. It's like I had God mode or something. I don't know if that was a cheat code or something. I activated some sort of random cheat code. I don't know how the hell that happened. I was flat on the pancake on the floor, moving around, killing enemies. I must have accidentally activated a cheat code or something. Yeah, I absolutely loved the second one. Reloaded was absolutely fabulous. Characters were much more better. They're not like pancake characters. It was just absolutely great, Reloaded. Yeah, I agree. Just with the controls, everything else about the game is absolutely perfect and spot on. But the controls were a bit, bleh, a bit clunky. It needed a bit of work. But yeah, if you like this video, make sure to give a like, comment down below, and make sure to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content. I finally agree with him. Fucking hell. Hallelujah. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.